What's going on YouTube? Welcome back to Lucky Lifestyle. I'm your host with the most, Lucky. Today's video, I'm just going to be talking about my personal story, my personal journey, and I'm going to be going over how it's impacted the rest of my life in a positive way. All right, so if y'all ready to get into my personal story, let's do it. This is your first time at the channel. My name is Lucky, professional fitness lifestyle coach. I've been working out for the past 13 years. Welcome back, everybody who has been watching my YouTube videos. I really appreciate you guys for the support. And if this is your first time, welcome to the channel, man. If you like the video, subscribe if you want to. Every Saturday is going to be a new video at 9 a.m. So yeah, staying consistent on this thing. So if you like the videos, come on back and watch some more. Today's video is going to be a little bit different. Instead of me giving you guys a bunch of tips and stuff like that, like I normally do, I wanted to just take this opportunity to kind of express and just show y'all a little bit about myself and who I am as a person. How my journey has basically helped every facet of my life and helped develop me as a person. So to me, weight loss or working out and getting in good shape is more than just like a physical thing. It's more than just like, okay, I look better in my clothes or something like that. For me, it's on a spiritual level too as well, because you're overcoming yourself in so many different ways, and you build yourself up, by going through this process that a lot of people don't take. And I feel like it's a very interesting thing, and it has a lot of benefits to it outside of just like looking great and looking amazing, all right? So my personal journey starts 13 years ago. I was 50 pounds overweight at the time, drinking every single day, man, living the complete 180 from the lifestyle I live now. And it's crazy because when people say like, I don't know how I got here, like that's exactly how I felt. I don't even know like how I spiraled into that place. But boom, there I was, a borderline alcoholic, to be quite honest with y'all, drinking every single day, and then just living a terrible lifestyle, eating the most just terrible stuff, man. Eating out every day, I didn't really cook much. And one day, you hear people say over and over like, hey man, you gained some weight, or like, hey, you've been eating good, which is like a nice way of saying like, Lucky, yo, you kind of overweight, my dude. So like eventually, I think I kept hearing it so many times, and then I was like, I just got real curious. I was like, I wonder how much I weigh right now, right? So, I stepped on the scale, I seen 196 pounds, and I was like, mind you now, I'm 5'5", I'm not a very tall guy. So with me being that height and weight, you can just imagine like how unhealthy it looked. Like I had a pot belly and all that stuff, bro. So like after that, I got so like disgusted with how I allowed myself to get to that point that it was just like something snapped inside of me. And I didn't know, mind you, I didn't know anything about fitness. I didn't know anything about working out. I didn't know anything. At that moment, I created a standard for myself that this was it just wasn't acceptable. Like there was no reason for me to look and feel like this. I remember times I used to go up my townhome at the time I lived in, and I would like be winded. I was always used to being like 135. I was always like a smaller person. So for me to gain that much weight was just insane to me. And I was just like, how did I allow myself to get to this point? But over time, you continue to do habits, you continue to have habits, and they might not stack up at that particular, like in a short period of time. But if you do the wrong thing over a long period of time, over years, of course, it's gonna have an effect on you. And that's where I was at with that. So me being where I'm at now, seeing this on the scale, created a new standard for myself. I said, hey, the next day I actually went and got a gym membership, and I started learning as much as I could, going on YouTube, looking up stuff, how to work out, how to eat, diets, things of that nature. And then I got introduced to HIIT, high intensity interval training, so I tried that. I've actually tried a lot of crazy things, and I'll share some of that with y'all right now. Actually, I've did everything from intermittent fasting, 16 hours a day, and then eating only for 8 hours a day. Drinking black coffee. Black coffee is so disgusting, bro. I know some of y'all watching this probably like it. It is an acquired taste. I do not like it. Do I still drink coffee? Yes. Is it black? Absolutely not. That's terrible. But I was doing it to lose weight. I did crazy things like taking ice baths. I really went and bought those big old bags of ice that y'all see outside of the convenience stores. putting that into my bathtub, you know what I'm saying, taking cold showers. I read a lot of stuff and I did a lot of things that were extreme. You know, they worked, but they just wasn't like long term. So between when I first started until now, like, I learned so much stuff. And you guys can get the video of that. The Ultimate Fitness Blueprint, it has 7 keys to success. You guys should go check that out. Very powerful, valuable stuff if you have not watched it. So along that journey, you know, it was really hard, man. It was more mentally tough than anything. I really didn't find it super hard to actually go in and put the work in, and because I really took to it. Like, when I started working out, I really enjoyed it. I loved it. I started buying a bunch of like Superman shirts. I bought compression shirts, and like, I flipped the switch and just kept viewing myself in a certain type of way. Like, right now I might be 50 pounds overweight, but if I continue to do what I'm doing, I'm gonna get to where I'm going. And eventually I did. And it was a process, man. So if you're ever on your journey, you thinking like you can't do it because you don't know anything or you don't know where to begin, trust me, I've been there. And let me be the person to tell you that if you really come to the conclusion that this is unacceptable for you, then that's it. The mentality switch happens first. And then once you do that, everything else is just going to fall in alignment with the standard that you have set for yourself. And I know this from personal experience because this is what worked for me. If I did not change my mind, nothing else would have mattered. I would have worked out for a little bit and be like, all right, this is okay. But I had enough pain to where I was like, I can't do this anymore. And then I changed myself. So after learning all the things and finally getting into great, phenomenal shape, trying all the stuff that was crazy, that didn't work, you know, and just going along my personal journey, once I got to where I wanted to be, I was like, yo, fitness is great. This has changed my life. I think I need to work with other people who want to do the same thing for themselves. And then that's when I came up with the fact, like, all right, I'm gonna become a personal trainer. So I went, got certified through ACE, did all that stuff, took the test. I learned a lot, and you know, I'm still in love with it to this day. It's something that people have a hard time being consistent with things. And this is one of the things that ever since I started, I always just kept showing up with it. I kept being consistent with it. And I really enjoy helping other people to make that transformation like I made for myself. Now again, like I was saying at the beginning of the video, it's more than just transforming your body so you can look better. All right, so for me, it was like, now I have more confidence than I ever had. I have the mental resilience now. Like, I know with my mindset that if I really want to accomplish something, even though it might be hard, if I continuously stay at it and keep growing and keep learning, and I just don't give up, then there's no way that I can lose. So when I always talk about being unstoppable, that's really where that came from, you know? Because when you transform your body and every day you have to continuously fight for the vision that you see of yourself, and then the person that you look at that's looking at you in the mirror is two totally different people. And for you to continue to be like, all right, I might not look like that right now, I might not feel like that right now, but I'm putting myself in the mindset of the person who looks the way that I want to look, who is the type of way that I want to be. And I feel like that's the first thing that you must overcome, is you have to put yourself in the mindset of the person that you want to become. If you want to be somebody who is ripped, right, and looks amazing, muscle, lean, you know, six pack, you have to start thinking like that person thinks. Did you think the person that has a six pack on a Tuesday at the beginning of the week is going to McDonald's? No, they don't. That's not what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? So do you think the person who has a six pack, who looks the way that you want to look, is like, I'm gonna go skip this workout today, even though I need to go work out? No, they don't. They go do it anyway. You know, they're not relied on motivation. They're relied on discipline, and that's what it really takes. So the major things that really changed for me is the fact that I know that I am capable. And that is very powerful for me. And that spilled up to every other facet of my life too as well. Because if I can do something crazy as dropping 50 pounds, and I don't know anything about fitness or nutrition, and I just continue to stay along the path, even though at times it really did suck and I really did want to quit, but I just continued, then what else am I able to accomplish if I take that same mindset and apply it to every other aspect of my life? Imagine what I can accomplish. Imagine what you can accomplish if you decide to do that. So what are you really missing out on when you aren't accomplishing what it is that you want to accomplish from a fitness standpoint? Like what else are you saying no to? You know, you can't really, you don't, once you build up the discipline and the habits to be able to change and reform yourself, you can do this at any time that you want. So then you can figure, I don't like this about my life, you can change it. And then you can physically see the fact that you've done this in another aspect of your life. So why can't you do it in another aspect? And that's how I kind of look at things now. The mindset's changed, my body's changed as well too. And I feel a lot better, I feel more confident. But the biggest change that happened was on the inside. Because now I see what I'm made of. You know, I see what I can accomplish. And I really just want to give other people that mentality too as well. I want people to look at me as an inspiration. I want people to say, hey man, if Lucky can do it, then I can do it too. Because I'm not special. The only difference between me and somebody else watching this video is I started and I didn't give up. That is the only difference. And that's what separates the people from the ones who make it from the ones who don't make it. But anybody can make it. They just gotta put the time in, put the effort in, and not give up. And that's really it's all about. Be unstoppable. That's why that's the term, that's why that's the slogan for my brand, because that's me, unstoppable. It feels real good to like talk and get my story out, man. So that's really the entirety of it. I just want people to understand, if you're watching this video right now, if you at the end of this video right now, I want you to understand that you can accomplish anything in life. That is the whole soul, moral of the story. You are unstoppable. The only thing that ever stops you is you. Now, you might attribute that to something else outside of yourself. You don't have enough time, you don't have enough motivation. But essentially, these things don't stop you, you do. So stop giving your power to things outside of yourself because you hold the power. And the reason why you don't have it is because you gave it away. So take that back for yourself by taking accountability for your life, because you can do anything, all right? That's today's video. I appreciate y'all listening to my story and allowing me to kind of get that out too, because I feel like I was pretty therapeutic as well. And if you like the video, and you should subscribe, because every Saturday at 9 a.m., like I said, new videos are coming out. And if you guys have something specific that you want me to cover, any topics or stuff like that, just put it down in the comments and I'll take that into consideration, and maybe I'll make a video based on those topics if I get enough people who want to hear about that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because that does, you know, that's important too. All right, that's today's video. Always remember, small changes equal big results. Be unstoppable. Peace.